Shalom, shalom. Praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, Hashem Harakakadash. Dominance to the apostles and elders of Great Mills Under One. Shalom to the brothers doing work in truth. Just more on this situation you got mainly around, well, just all around Taiwan. That's kind of the hot thing as far as for the Russia, China, Iran kind of sphere versus the the Western world, EU, NATO, US. Um, it's been kind of like a back and forth, and it's looking there could be a conflict of some kind. But yeah, I think might go similar to them in a similar vein to like Crimea and Ukraine, where the US obviously have their undercover, you know, dudes in the background doing their thing. But I don't think, well, it's likely not gonna blow over into something as big, or it might arise as such. Well, it's according to prophecy, it's got to be in the Middle East, man. And it might spread, but the Middle East is the main one still. Because even for Taiwan, it's like for the US to cover it is not even feasible. And these men fucking recently just fucked off from Afghanistan, so it's like they ain't looking to spread themselves as thin. So this is on Reuters. This is what China says conducted readiness patrol as US lawmakers visit Taiwan. This is what China's military said on Tuesday. It conducted a combat readiness patrol in the direction of the Taiwan Strait after its defense ministry condemned a visit to Taiwan by a US congressional delegation. It said had arrived on a military aircraft. Yeah, I believe there were both sides were doing like preparation. China was doing like I believe beach storming or storming by sea kind of practice. It's obviously what I have to do in Taiwan. And Taiwan was, I believe, getting trained by the US. So it's been a continual kind of back and forth, man. Just funny as hell. Yeah, it's been a continual back and forth. So this is what defense ministry can do to visit Taiwan with the US. The patrol was aimed at the seriously wrong words and actions of relevant countries on the Taiwan issue and the activities of pro-independence forces in Taiwan, a Chinese military spokesman said in a statement. Cross-strait tensions have been rising in recent months, with Taiwan complaining for a year or more of repeated missions by China's Air Force near the self-ruled island. Several Taiwan media outlets, oh yeah, you had fucking what's his name as well. That was that guy's name, man. John Cena getting in trouble for saying what do you call it? What the fuck did he say? He said Taiwan was a country, and then he had to fucking apologize in Chinese, man. That got rough. I'm like, America's losing that spark, man. Lost that shine. Because why? There was a moment in time where Esau could go around the world, do whatever the fuck he wanted, and hey, spurs on people to kind of just allow him, let him do what he was doing. He had that mark where it's like, yo, if anyone comes against Cain, vengeance will be against him sevenfold. But now what? That protection's come off, man. Esau's being opened up, and that's why you can see that's the thing is the other nations are seeing like, oh, okay, we're gonna have the capabilities to to actually come against this guy. So it says U.S. military. So several Taiwan media outlets reported on Tuesday that unspecified members from both the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate had arrived in Taipei on Tuesday evening on a U.S. military plane. Taiwan's presidential office declined to comment. The American Institute in Taiwan, the de facto U.S. embassy in the absence of formal diplomatic ties, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. China's defense ministry said in a statement that members of the U.S. Congress had arrived in Taiwan by military plane. We firmly oppose and strongly condemn this, it said. China has not ruled out using force to bring Taiwan under its control, despite the island's claim that it's an independent country that will defend its freedom and democracy. Yeah, just like Hong Kong did. The Neman got smashed. That's the thing is like as what's it called? As with they're gonna defend their thingy. As with the US, how they kind of consolidate power. That Western Bloc set up like NATO, EU, these organizations to basically exercise their power at a greater level. That's the same thing China's trying to do. China and Russia are basically trying to link up and be like, okay, we're gonna like take care of all the local problems. That's why you had Russia take over Crimea, reabsorb it, and they're looking to do the same to Ukraine. And then once they've consolidated the base, then they can concentrate on doing the shit that they desire to do without any influence. So how do things swap? And that's really the main spot that's gonna pop off is in the Middle East, because Taiwan, America are doing what they're doing, but in what circumstances? In what's the place I'm thinking of? Circumstances in in the Middle East, man. That's really where it's gonna matter. And it's like Iran, Syria, the state of Israel, that area there. That's the where the storm is, man. It's eye of the storm. That's where everything's gone down. That's where the vast majority of interests are gonna, bandy back and forth. Yeah, and that's where you're gonna see it all come to a head. You used to read this. Obadiah 1 and 6 says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah. So all the people that says what all the people of your men of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border. All those that were Confederate, they've basically been working against Esau for the longest, and you see it happen. The main one is the EU allies, like the biggest one is France, but then other nations as well have had their shortcomings, and these things are going to come up more. Have it with or even well, this is what they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. China is a big part of how China got to the scale it is why basically utilizing the consumerism of the US to basically be a jump off point, buying at US that producing these products at a way cheaper level and a way higher rate than anyone else in the world can really do. Well, for most things, but certain things are kind of moved to other areas. But that's what they did for the longest and allowed them to build up to where now it's essentially if the U.S. China relationship breaks down, you're gonna have a mass amount of things that are gonna be incredibly difficult to get, and the rate at which you're gonna be getting them into the country is gonna be way lower. And there's a lot of companies. I kept trying to say countries. A lot of companies that have Chinese backing, and then with these Chinese companies, even if they might seem like they just maneuver, they're allowed to do what they do. You talk too much. You don't basically follow the instructions that are given by Xi Jinping. Like with what's his name, Jack Ma, man. Jack Ma was talking shit. Guy went missing for like 2 weeks or some shit, and no one knew shit. Then he just comes back and he's just behaving himself. So yeah, these guys. If once that conflict breaks down, the current way that America runs, there's gonna be all kinds of issues. And then what? Let alone the actual warfare going down. This is what shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Yeah? Mighty men are going to be saved. All the wisdom, all those wise men are going to be destroyed. Because why? It's like that same wisdom that Esau's blessed with to allow him to build up, go into I believe it's Ezekiel 28 or 20, I think Ezekiel 20, I'm pretty sure, says what by thy wisdom thou hast gotten thee riches. Because yeah, Esau's wisdom, the way he's able to set his system up, he's gained a mass amount of wealth, control over all form of economic structures, to basically allow him to be, an ultimate power on earth through those means. And then what? But all that wisdom, all that maneuverability to basically get him in the top spot, it's done. The wise men are being done away with. They've basically been utilized up until a certain point, which is why you have it with what was I going to say? So the wisdom, so the technology going up to the point of being able to implant microchips, being able to there's something it was develop nuclear technology, these things as well, nuclear missiles, nuclear rockets, sending missile rockets, sending men into space, which is what prophecy, set thy nest among the stars, got him as far as he needed to go to fulfill prophecy. Then afterwards, what? It's been set. His limit, man. His bounds have been set. And that's the thing is, with Esau, it's a matter of dreams. There's hope to find some form of break, as far as what can be done with what's currently available. Like that shit's been done. Like the phones aren't gonna get much smaller. The the what they called processors, microprocessors can only get so much smaller. And then once they hit the limit, then it's done. It's a wrap. The understanding's only set, to go as far as it needs to go for prophecy. All these nations, man, they're gonna be hungry to take a bite, man, out of America, because America's that whore, man. It's that whore that's basically being utilized to, bring about plans. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yabashim Shabashim Kakdash Shalom.